Hello, good day from wherever you are watching me. You're welcome. My name is Choma Odiko. You're welcome to our session today. So say hello, say hi. Let us know where you are joining us from. So today we'll be reviewing the last session of this book, or the last part of this book, called Grit by Angela Duckworth. Yes, so tell me in the comment section, even if you're catching a replay or you're joining us live, what have you learned from this book so far? What have you learned? What have you picked? So today we're going to be reviewing the last session, and the last session is talking about growing grit from the outside in. So how can we as parents, how can we as adults grow our grit from outside, from the external, from everything that is around us? That is what we are discussing today. Now, what if the secret to your child's success isn't what you teach them, but what if the secret is dependent on how you live your life as a parent? So the question, the conversation is, how are you living your life? How do you live your life? Do you live your life in such a way that your children can see that you're resilient, you're perseverant? That is the question. Now, today we're going to learn that we can grow our grit from externals, from the things around us, and we're going to be talking about different ways we can grow our grit. Now, we can grow our grit from the external through parenting, the way we raise our children, through our environment, through our culture, the culture in our home. And in this book, the author of this book, this book taught us about wise parenting, a concept called wise parenting, and she tried to explain the different parenting styles. So we're going to briefly look at the different parenting styles, and you're going to find yourself in which one are you in. You're going to find yourself in the one you tend to practice on a daily basis. So we have the authoritarian parenting style. This parenting style, the parenting style that is high demanding. You're highly demanding as a parent on your children, but you have low support. You're not committed, you're not present, you don't support your children so well. The second style is permissive parenting. Low demanding but high support. You're just there, you're permissive, you give in to everything. Then the other type of parenting is neglectful parenting. Now, this parenting is the type of parenting that is low demanding and low support. So you neglect your child, you neglect yourself, you neglect the needs, you neglect everything. You're just doing parenting, but with so much neglect. Then the fourth parenting style is the wise parenting style. And in this style, the author tried to talk about high demanding and high support. This is the parenting style that is grit growing, the parenting style that perseveres, the parenting style that you're teaching your child how to be resilient, how to continue, how not to give up, even when everything seems so difficult. Now, as parents, we must always remember that our children become gritty when raised in environments where they are challenged. So our children will improve on their grit when they are raised in environments where they are challenged to grow, but securely supported in their efforts. So your environment, your home space, is it encouraging your child to grow, or is it shutting down the growth of your child? That is the question we need to ask ourselves, because our children mirror back what we do on a daily basis. They are watching. Are we perseverant? Are we resilient? Are we consistent? Are we carrying on even when things are difficult? Are you carrying on? That is what our children model. So we must always remember that as parents, we can grow our grades, first of all, in ourselves and in our children by the parenting style we raise our children with. So what kind of parenting style are you raising your child with? We must always remember that as a parent, for you to build this grit in your child through your parenting style, you must be consistent with your expectations. So are you consistent with your expectations, or do you expect A today and tomorrow you expect B? Do you model perseverance in your goals, even when your goals, even if everything is not working out as planned? Do you model perseverance? You have to model perseverance. We have to model perseverance, because that is one way our children learn grit. Do you encourage passion over pressure? Passion without pressure. Do you pressurize your children? Do you tell your children things like, okay, you must be in this activity, you must be in this event, you must be in this project? Do you put so much pressure on your child? If you put so much pressure on the child, you will in a way reduce the grit, you will in a way reduce the ability of the child to be resilient, to persevere. But rather the focus should be passion. The focus should be passion. Then let your child see that it is okay to fail, and when they fail they can rise. That is what we need to learn, so we can build our grit from external. We can build our grit through the way we raise our children and through the way we are raising ourselves. So that is what we need to take note of. Then the second chapter we're going to be studying says the playing field of grit. Now, do the environment our children spend time in challenge them to grow? Your home environment, does it challenge your child to grow, or does it protect your child from growth, or does it prevent them from growth? The way your home is, the way you're carrying out your daily activity, does it prevent or does it support the growth of your child? Now, the author of this book, Grit, Angela Duckworth, she explores the different structured extracurricular activities like sports, music, clubs. Long-term commitment tend to teach our children resilience. So when you get your child enrolled in a sports activity, clubs, football, music, all these activities that they are going to be committed long term, not activity that they are going today and tomorrow they are quitting. No, long term activities that they are going to be committed for a long period of time tend to teach our children resilience. Even we as parents, we can build our resilience when we are committed to long term activities. Now we must understand that these are the grit laboratories. These are the areas our children build their grit when they are committed in these activities for a long time, because they learn to show up even when it is hard. Even when it is hard, your child will learn to show up for that sport event, for that sport activity. Even when it is hard, your child will need to commit over time, because they know that they are accountable to a system, probably to their teacher, to their coach, or to someone. They learn to bounce back in failure. Now, if you enroll your child in a sport, for example, let's say football, when your child falls down, make a mistake, the child will definitely get up. So in that process, the child is learning how to bounce back, and you're helping that child to build grit. So one of the ways, or one thing we can do for our children, is to enroll them in long-term activities that they are going to be consistent. It will help them to build their grit. So enroll your child in a meaningful long-term activity. As I said, encourage them to finish what they start. Even we as parents, we should learn to finish what we start. Let quitting be a last resort. Let quitting be a last resort. Don't always quit. Even if you hit a roadblock as a parent, or your child hits a roadblock, always tell your child that we don't quit. We are going to get to the very end of this. By doing that, you're building the grit muscle in yourself and in your children. Then the other chapter, a culture of grit. Now, our family has a culture. Each of us, our individual families have a culture. Your family has a culture. My family has a culture. Even if it's not spoken, but there's a culture. There's a culture running through your family, even if it's not spoken. Now, the culture, the question we should ask ourselves, the culture in your home, is it helping your child to build grit? Is it helping your child to be resilient? Is it helping your child to persevere the more? Or the culture in your home, is it not helping your child to build in grit? Is it hindering your child from building grit? That is the conversation. So we need to take a close look at the culture in our home. So what is culture? Now, culture is the shared norms and values of a group. So it could be the shared norms and values of a people, of a family, like we learned in school, the way of life of a people. It could be the culture, with shared norms and values in your home. It could also be the norms and values in the school of your children. It could be the norms and values in the church you attend. It could be the norms and the value of the community where you're raising your children. Now, all these things, the norms and values of these places, these spaces your child tend to find themselves in your home, in their school, in their communities, in their churches, all these things has a way of building grit or hindering grit in your child. So as parents, we must always be intentional about our culture. Let our culture be the culture that we promote grit in our children. Let our culture be the culture culture that will promote perseverance in our children. Let our culture be the culture that will make our children to continue and not to give up. So you could use languages like we don't give up in our homes. When you use such languages, when you use such phrases, it helps the child to continue and not to give up. You can tell your child like we finish what we start in this home. Even when it's getting difficult, your child is trying on an activity probably for the first time, but it's difficult. You tell your child we finish what we start. You can also build the culture of telling your children that we learn from our mistakes, we learn from our failures. When you say all this, it's a way of building culture, the culture of grit in your home. You tell your child that we don't give up. Excellence is expected and effort is honored. So you tell your child that in this home we honor effort. In this home we honor excellence. When you use this phrase, it's a way of building and shaping the culture of your home so that your home will start to speak the language of grit, so that your home will be a culture where grit is promoted. So as parents, we have to be intentional about the culture around our children, about the spaces our children go to, because it helps in building their grit. So as a parent or as a family, you need to define your family values, and you need to say them often. It's good to define our values, but don't just define it and say it once and that is all. You need to say these values so that these values are ingrained into the heart of your child. When you do that, you're reshaping the culture of your home, and you're building your child to have more grit. So what values do you have as a parent? Even when you have those values, remember to say these values often so that it is ingrained into the heart of your child. Share stories of perseverance during family time. When you gather together as a family, share stories of perseverance. Share stories, share your personal struggles. Share your personal story as a parent, as a father, as a mother to your children, how you were able to persevere through a difficult situation. By doing that, you're shaping the culture of your home. Celebrate effort, not just success. Learn to celebrate the effort of your child, not just the success of your child. And finally, use affirmations like, in this family we keep going. When you use such affirmations, it helps to tell this child, it does something to this child, and it tells this child that, okay, in this home we keep on going, we don't quit, because it is ingrained, it is shaping the culture of your home. So what is your home made of? The culture, the values. What are you saying? The words you are saying on a daily basis, the instruction you are giving to your children, is it building them up? Is it building the culture of your home? Is it helping them to have more grit as a parent or as a family? That is what we need to take cognizance of, because our culture helps to shape our grit. Our culture helps to build in grit in us and in our children. So as a parent, what if grit is less about what you're born with? Now, what if grit is less than about what you're born with and more about what you decide to build? So grit is more of what you decide to build. Grit can be built. Perseverance can be built. Resilience can be built. All those things can be built. It just takes a decision for you to decide as a parent to build grit in yourself, for you to decide as a parent to build in grit in your children, to decide to build in resilience, to build in perseverance in yourself. So I'm here to encourage you that grit is not fixed. Grit is not fixed. Grit can grow. So your resilience can grow. Your level of perseverance can grow. All these things can be grown. It just takes the decision and for us to be able to walk on this journey. So as a parent, what would you be doing differently? Always remember, grit isn't a one-time lesson. It is a daily journey. So on a daily basis, you're practicing how to be more perseverant, how to be more resilient. You're not just saying, I'm going to start a project and I'm going to, when I make a mistake or when everything don't go my way, I'm going to stop. No, grit is a journey. It's a journey you practice on a daily basis, so that when you fail today, you get up, you dust yourself, you continue. When you fail tomorrow as a parent, you get up, you dust yourself and continue. And you teach your child the same thing. So when you're trying to read a book and you're not able to reach your target of the day, the next day you get up, you pick up that book and you continue to read. When you're trying to do a project, you're trying to do something at home, you're trying to teach your children something, and they've not gotten it, you will get up and continue to teach till they get it. So grit is a daily journey. Grit is not a one-time lesson. Then secondly, our children grow grit when we as parents, when we commit to our growth. So are you committed to your growth? Are you committed to being a better version of yourself? Are you committed to reparenting yourself? Are you committed to growing so you can raise children that's, that'll be a blessing to their world? So our children will be committed in their grit when they can see that we as their parents are committed to growth. You as a parent, how many times have you picked up a book to read? But most times we tell our children, go and read your book, go and attend this course. As a parent, have you enrolled yourself in any course? Have you read a book? Have you attended a seminar? Have you attended something that will help you to grow? We must always remember that when our children see us growing, it's automatically, and it has a way of building grit in our children. Then lastly, your words as a parent matter. But your life speaks louder. Your words are important. Your words matter, but your life speaks louder. So what kind of life are you living? Are you living the life that builds grit? The life that encourages grit? That is the message. So our daily choices, our daily actions, our daily decisions should be those decisions that model grit on a daily basis. So that is what we are called to do as parents. And that is what this book we've been studying for this month is teaching us. Ability to build grit, ability to withstand, not to quit, even when people laugh at you, even when the road does not look like a road that is well traveled, but you tell yourself, I'm going to go for this and I'm going to get it. So that is the conversation. So as parents, let us always remember that what we do is a form of legacy to our children. Let your parental legacy be marked by the seeds of grit. Let your parental legacy be marked by the seeds of grit. Let it be marked by the seeds of grace and godly growth. Don't just read about grit. Don't just watch this video, but begin to live the life. Begin to put in the work to build in grit in yourself on a daily basis and your children. So that is it. Thank you for joining us. We've been able to review this book. It's a wonderful book. Drop in the comment section, what is one area you're going to improve in your grit? You're going to be more perseverant. You're going to be more resilient as a parent, or you're going to teach your child or your children to be more resilient and more perseverant. So thank you for joining me. Till I come your way next time, to have a great day and bye.